some howdly dowdly dowdly do. I got some answers to give to you. Howdly dowdly dowdly dum. I've got a Star Wars cup filled with rum. It's actually not just rum, it's rum with a coconut liqueur. And it's Malibu, which every time I go shopping for booze and the Malibu catches my eye, there's always some other dude there like, nah, dude, that's fucking chick rum, bro. You don't want that shit, bro. It's chick rum. Let me tell you something. Delicious. Fuck you. I'm a man, and that means I don't give in to fucking peer pressure anymore. Even if it means drinking something a little girly. Because I prefer the girly drinks. That's just how I am. Jesus Christ, it's a minute and I haven't answered one question. All right. I didn't bother going through and picking the best questions and fucking... I'm just going to randomly scroll through to random shit. That's what I'm going to do. You don't like it? Eat a dick. I don't care. You can go fuck yourself. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the top and scroll down a little. What is your favorite movie? Please respond. Oh my god, what a boring fucking question. My favorite movie. This everyone knows this already. I mean, everyone fucking knows. Unforgiven, Seven Samurai, pretty much equal footing for me. I love both those films. Very similar films thematically as well. And so yeah, that's that. There's kind of an I'm gonna get real fucking nerdy here for a second, but they're interesting films in that they're thematically similar, but their directors are kind of far apart. I mean, they're almost like, it's Clint Eastwood and Akira Kurosawa, of course, and Akira Kurosawa was making very Western sort of films in like not Western as in the Western genre, but Western as in westernized. He was very inspired by American filmmakers, whereas Clint Eastwood makes he does these very subdued, contemplative movies that almost kind of remind you of a lot of Asian cinema. So it's kind of strange, little parallel there. I don't know. It's not really is that a parallel? That's a parallel. Parallel. This is a parallel. Yeah, this is an intersection. I don't know what. They do. It's an intersection and it's a parallel and it's all those things. It just depends on how your mind is framing the analogy, really. So yeah, more stuff. Your thoughts on random drug dog searches at schools? Random? Why? Well, first of all, I mean, like, what is with drug search? I mean, what are you gonna do? What is that supposed to accomplish? We fucking catch some kid with a joint in his bag. Yeah, good. Now we can ruin his life, as opposed to him just being okay. I mean, I guess if you're trying to catch like dealers or something, but I mean, most people who deal are not gonna necessarily deal at the school unless they're really fucking stupid. Now I know for a fact because I was in high school that there are people that are that fucking stupid, but yeah, that's not. And like, really, what are you doing? I mean, it's just a waste of resources, and it basically just treats everyone like they're criminals. Like, hey, we're gonna randomly search all you kids. I mean, and that's against the Fourth Amendment, by the way. That's unlawful search and seizure. That's I mean, I guess you can argue that if the drug dog, I mean, if you bring the drug dog and it smells something in someone's bag, I guess you can say, oh well, now I have. The lawful right to search this bag. That's one way you can interpret it, but I mean, like, there's such a thing as false positives there. I mean, drug dogs are not always, it's not, their noses, while very incredible, are not 100% accurate at detecting drugs. I mean, they do have a lot of false positives, and not only that, the very fact that you're bringing them into the school, that to me constitutes part of a search. So I say, fuck that. That's wrong, because you're bringing them there with the express purpose of search and seizure when you have no evidence that that any given person there is doing anything wrong. So yeah, I'm against them. And I think that it's, it just strikes me as sort of weird and fascistic. But that's America for you. That should be our slogan as a country. America, weird and fascistic. Or maybe it should just be weirdly fascistic. Fascistic. Oh my yeah, it's fascistic. That's just a strange word to me at the moment. I'm not even high. I just started drinking. I can't drink too much of this because this is it's got a lot of calories in it. This is like 400 calories right here, and I'm on a strict calorie diet where I can't go over a certain amount of calories every day. I'm trying to stick to a 2,000 calorie diet. Technically, at my size and weight and age and all that stuff, I could lose weight on a 2,500 calorie diet because I'm so large. Not only in terms of me being a fat ass, but also I'm just built large. 6'7" and pretty broad frame. So yeah, but I'm trying to stick to 2,000, and right now I think this actually is putting me over 2,000. So yeah, I wish I was on a 9,000 calorie diet, because I'm gonna be like, this is putting me over 9,000. Yeah, but that's old. That's an old meme. But that one never gets old to me. That's the one meme that to me, and I'm using meme not in like the Richard Dawkins coined meme sense. I'm using it more in just like the internet bullshit meme sense, where look at this funny picture with this funny caption, or look at this new thing that we're all saying or doing. Which is still a subcategory of the Dawkins memes, but it's not, encompassing the whole thing. So yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't. I don't even really know. I kind of got lost there. But hopefully someone out there with a more focused mind than I saw what I was saying, wove it all together, and then was like, aha, yes, good point. That happens to me a lot. So let's get some more questions here. A while back, you said you'd begun reading a Game of Thrones. Have you continued reading a Song of Ice and Fire series? If so, what did you think of it? I read about 10 pages of Game of Thrones, and that was about it. Not because it was bad, but just because I'd already seen the show, and I kind of just felt like I don't feel like reading the book because I already saw the show. I mean, I guess that's probably ignorant or something, but if I'm going to read a book, I'd rather read a book that I don't already know the whole fucking story and everything that happens. And I guess there's some differences, but my understanding is the differences are so slight that it's not really worth it. I mean, I guess it is worth it because the writing is supposed to be good and the books are supposed to be better according to people who've read them, but that's always the case. I watched the TV show. It pretty much siphoned my urge to read the book or any of the books. So yeah. What a sad, pathetic world you must live in. Is the basement that you huddle over your keyboard in comfortable? I feel very sad for you. How horrible it must be that you have to take a stab at others to make yourself feel important. God. You got me right in here, bro. You got me deep. Yeah. I'm obviously not in a fucking basement, for fuck's sake. I mean, you can just look at this and see that it's not a basement. It's actually the second floor of my 3-story living quarters. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice place, It's not, I wish it was a little bit more spacious, but I think it's pretty nice, and it, you could see that it's pretty nice accommodations for a fellow such as myself, considering that I have no formal education whatsoever, and I am antisocial in both senses of the word, both the actual clinical antisocial, where I have difficulty, experiencing empathy in all situations where it's appropriate, and also the other antisocial, which is the colloquial usage, which is that I don't like hanging around other people because they really fucking bother me. So, given those crippling defects on my part and my anti-authoritarian streak, I think that it's impressive that I've accomplished anything in my life, even if it's something small. So you're never going to take that away from me, and it's ridiculous that you'd even try. What do we got here? What is your opinion on the Beatless? That is the Beatles. The Beatles are awesome, and I like them. My favorite song by the Beatles is "Happiness is a Warm Gun." I actually just quoted some lyrics from that song earlier to a friend of mine who had sent me a text message about something with guns, and it was like, I was like, "Happiness is a warm gun. She's not a girl who misses much. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. You feel the power. You feel the energy. You feel the locomotion. So, yeah, what we got here? Yeah, motherfucker, what you got? Some chick named Rachel Leffler left like a bazillion fucking comments in a row. We'll answer one of hers, and she seems desperate. Also, going off Howard Bloom's statement, I guess this is a continuation. Okay, so let's read both parts. Hey, there's a question. Here's a question. There. She said she meant to say "here's a question," but she actually said "there's a question," and I read it properly because my mind compensated, but then I looked back and saw there was a T, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, is that supposed to be there? And then I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be there. So, fuck you for being a shitty typer, Rachel Leffler. Hey, there's a question. Let's say you were a Hindu and you had been a super awesome kick-ass Goku Hindu, and they said you could come back as anything after you die. What would you be? I would be, I don't know what I would. I don't know what I'd be. I guess I'd just be human again because I like having human intelligence. But I mean, like, I don't even know what all the options are because I mean, it's unlikely that life is restricted simply to this one fucking planet. I mean, there's probably other life out there in the universe. So that being the case, I'd like to see like a big menu of fucking aliens and I'll choose from one of those. I want to read the pros and cons. I gotta fucking go over this. It'd probably take me a couple fucking 100 million years just to figure out what I'd want to be. So, I'm just gonna be in the fucking waiting room until that. And then the second part of your question is also, going off Howard Bloom's statement about Western culture, where do you think we could improve by learning from another culture? Asian, Native American, African, whatever. I think that one of the biggest faults of America, in particular, as a country, and not all of Western civilization, but the problem with America is that we continuously see solutions in other countries work and then fail to emulate them because we stubbornly refuse to believe that anything could be better than the way we're already doing things. And I think that is, to me it exemplifies a lack of humility in this country, which I would like to see. I'd like to see Americans not just have this default attitude of, we're number one! I'd rather Americans not feel like they're number one and feel like they want to be number one and continue to push in that direction by instituting the successful policies of other countries. But we continuously fail to do that. And, I'm not going to talk about specific cultures like what can we learn from the native people and all that shit. Fuck all that. Let's just look outwards with an open mind and see what works for other people in general. Just like let's instead of just sitting like the healthcare debate in America. It's like, okay, well, we got universal healthcare in all these other countries. works better than our system, and yet we still have people arguing against it in this country. What a waste of fucking time. What a stupid debate. It's not even a debate that should be had. It should just be, oh, well, if we do institute universal health care, it's going to be the end. It's like, well, those countries did it and they're fine. Oh, well, anyway, I'm still against it. Okay, well then, fuck off. Who cares? You just need to die. You're useless. You don't understand how to interpret reality, so what the fuck are you doing here? Get lost. That's my attitude. Fuck yeah. Go down. If you could redo your life, what would you change? I'd have been born with a larger penis. That's what I'd redo. TJ, how old were you when you got your first girlfriend? My first real girlfriend, my first girlfriend that actually would acknowledge herself as my girlfriend, I was probably about 17. Which I know is a little late, but it's not super late. It's not like I was in my 20s or anything, so. I think I did okay for a neck beard. I don't judge myself by normal people. I judge myself by my fellow neckbeards. You know? Like how I look right now, like this is neckbeard respectable. This is like what a respectable neckbeard looks like. This is this is what a pillar of the neckbeard. Well, there's no neckbeard community, but this is what a pillar of the neckbeard non-community looks like. This is a pillar. I'm a pillar. That means I'm holding shit up. Not in a fucking delay way, but in a fucking, like, a Greek column that fucking keeps the structure sound. That's me. I'm also an active viewer. That's why no one wants to watch anything with me. An active viewer. No. Listen, I said in the previous video that I'm an active viewer, which means my mind is constantly going on. Now, you're saying that no one wants to watch anything with you, which leads me to believe that you're not just an active viewer in your mind, you're actually fucking spitting that shit out while the show is going on. And you should be beaten to death with a hammer, okay? Your thoughts are interesting to you because they're your thoughts. They're not interesting to anyone else, especially not at that particular moment. And you know what? Sharing every little thing that pops in your head is not something to be proud of. Sometimes it's good to think it over, roll it around in your mind a little bit, and then you fucking put it out there for other people. You know? That's what I do. Except when I'm doing videos like this. Then everything's a little bit more off the cuff because I'm having to respond to questions quickly. But that's good because it fucking gives you more of an insight into my psyche and how I actually think because I don't have any time to prepare. And of course, you're interested in that because I am almost, kinda, not really famous. Like, some people know who I am. Like, occasionally I go out in public and someone's like, hey, aren't you that one fucking asshole from the internet? And I'm like, yes, I am! And I shake their hand, and they're like, okay. Anyway. Yeah. TJ, years back you said you were an alcoholic when your dad died. Have you relapsed at all, or do you have self-control now? It's actually pretty rare for me to drink. I don't drink very much anymore. I've probably... Since this year's began, since this year has begun, or began, I don't know. Since this year has began, I've probably drank 5 or 6 times, and this is like the 5th or 6th. So, yeah. So I don't drink a lot. I'm not counting like the occasional beer here and there. I'm talking about like when I drink for the express purpose of actually getting a little buzzed. And this will only buzz me, and only very slightly, which is the sad thing. I have too much of a tolerance, I think, sometimes. I wish I was a lightweight like some other people I know that can just, you know, they fucking smell alcohol and they're like, oh man, fuck, what? Fuck going on, bro? The fuck going on, man? Fuck you, man. You fucking people are garbage, man. You're fucking trash. You're fucking trash. Yeah, so that's that. What else we got here? Do you watch Breaking Bad? Yes! Love me some fucking Breaking Bad. One of my favorite shows. Probably my top 10 shows. If I made a top 10 list of my favorite shows, that'd be on there for sure. For sure. Does Obama have a big cock? Well, I don't know. He's fucking, he's black. Well, he's half white. I don't know, you know. Probably he probably has a nice cock. I mean, he is president, so. I don't even think they let you be president unless you have a big cock. That's what I heard. Anyway. You seem less angry in your videos. Why is that? Probably because I am less angry, I guess. I mean, well, because, you know, I used to be a young fucking kid who was raging at the injustices of the world, and now I'm kind of at the point where I'm just like, well, the world's unjust, what the fuck ever, you know, and no one else cares, I guess I don't either. I mean, I still get upset sometimes, but for the most part, I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to focus on my life, because obviously I can't do anything to affect change in the world at large. But, you know, I mean, I hope that other people that are more optimistic than me do something, but I'm not optimistic, because I'm not optimistic. So, yeah, that's wonderful. What's your views on the Woolwich murder on the 22nd of May? I'm assuming that's the Muslims that killed the fucking MP or something. I don't know. I've not read a lot about the story, to be honest with you. The Muslims killed a guy, and you know, it's just everyone knows that the tensions between Muslims and non-Muslims in a lot of Europe is getting pretty fucking crazy. And, you know, I'm starting to come around to the viewpoint of people like Pat Condell who just think that Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. You know, because Islam is not a religion in the same way that Christianity is. Well, Christianity used to be sort of similar to Islam in that it prescribed laws. You know, like Leviticus is a book of the laws that are supposed to be the laws of the land, but Christians don't acknowledge that. Whereas with the Muslims, they have Sharia law, and they have all these books that are supposed to supplement the Quran, and it's basically Islam is like a total package deal where it's like, here's how your government's supposed to be run, here's how you're supposed to live your day-to-day life, and here's what you believe. And the things that are prescribed, not proscribed, but prescribed, something, by Islam, are incompatible with the values of Western civilization. And I just think that may be the case, and if it is, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I'm not advocating anything here. Like, I don't advocate removing Islamic people. I don't advocate any sort of violence against Muslims. I don't advocate anything like that. I guess what I would really advocate is that you basically you don't ever give into that pressure of like, well, we want to, you know, rule ourselves with Islamic law. It's like, well, then go back to a fucking Islamic country then, you know, because you ain't gonna do that here. But I guess, you know, the more and more Muslims move into these countries, the more and more they're able to affect the democratic processes of these respective European nations. And I guess that's problematic, and I really don't see a solution to it. But I mean, I don't usually see solutions to problems like that. I mean, I've never been a problem solver on that big scale. I'm very good at pointing at things and being like, that's fucked up, but I don't really have solutions. But I don't pretend to have solutions either. You know, a lot of people they pretend like they have some solutions, and then you poke 1,000 holes in their proposed solution. They're like, well, who cares? We gotta do something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe ultimately it is better to do something about a problem, even if your solution is flawed, than it is to just take my approach of like, well, I guess it's just fucked. Who knows? Let's see. What do we got? TJ, how would you react if neuroscientists proved that consciousness was a lie and we really were not responsible for any of our actions, we just experienced them? I think that's actually a very real possibility. I've read some books on neuroscience, and it seems like it very well could go in that direction. But then, I mean, my reaction would also be whatever I'm, predisposed to do. So, I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know how much it matters. I mean, like, if I have no choice but to behave in exactly the fashion that I do, then I would have no choice in my reaction to that knowledge. So, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's, it's really one of those things, like, even if it is true, it's kind of just too counterintuitive to ever really accept. Like, it's just something that human beings could never even really comprehend or get their minds around. So I don't really think it would affect anything. Did Holly take your last name when getting married? Why or why not? Yes, she did take my last name when we got married. Why? I don't know. It was her choice, and that's what she decided to do. How can I be happy as a misanthrope? How do I live life? I think you, as a misanthrope, how do you find happiness when you hate everyone else? I think you just have to focus on your own life and your own existence and surround yourself with whatever people you can find that you don't hate. And, that's really the best advice I can give. I mean, I've never really been one who aspires to happiness above all else. That's never been my highest pursuit. So I'm maybe not the best person, but I mean, I would say that the best way to obtain happiness is not by searching for happiness, but by following your passions. If you follow your passions, you're going to obtain happiness by default. Or at least I do, and I think most people do. It's it's like the old was it Joseph Campbell that said "follow your bliss," which basically just means just do the things that you enjoy, learn the things that you are curious about. If you're hungry for something, eat it. I mean, like for me, I'm on this diet, obviously. But, like, I know when I have a sweet tooth, and I just say to myself, okay, well, I've got this sweet tooth, and normally right now I'd eat something like a cookie or, well, let's be honest, a bunch of cookies. But, and now I say, well, fuck that, I'll eat some strawberries, or I'll eat some grapes, or I'll eat an apple, or something like that, or I'll find something that's low fat or low calories, whatever. But still sweet, and that's how I kind of do that, and I think you can do that in all aspects of your life. I mean, even if you want to be a filmmaker, maybe you don't have the fucking resources or time or talent to actually do it, but you could probably find something close enough or similar enough, and just pursue that. And I mean, really, no matter what you do, if you're doing what you want, then fuck everything else. It's like I enjoy espousing my opinions to other people and interpreting the world and sharing my thoughts and feelings with the world, and getting people's reactions and seeing what they think about what I think and hearing their criticisms. And I would do that no matter what. I mean, I obviously I have an audience for it at this point, but even if I didn't, I'd still be out there. I mean, I'd go back to being the fucking forum troll that goes into the forums and argues with everyone and fucking tells people their opinions are stupid. Because why not? That's what I like to do. It's one of my favorite fucking pastimes, and it makes me happy. So I do it. And that's just what you gotta do. Figure out what you really are interested in doing in life, and then do the closest thing to it. If you are bisexual, are you equally attracted to both genders? Well, don't let Tumblr catch you here saying both genders, because they will instruct you quite rapidly that there are more than two genders. As for whether or not I'm equally attracted to both genders, I would say in my case, yes. But I know other bisexuals who do not feel that way. There's others who, maybe their attraction to one sex or the other is less than, whatever. So that's the case for me, but it's not the case for everyone who identifies as bisexual. It's not always a 50-50 thing. I think in my case, it's close to 50-50. What cologne / deodorant do you use, if any? If you usually don't use any, why? The cologne that I typically use is, I don't really know. I have something that's sitting on my counter that I just spray on myself, not every day, but most days, and I don't really know what it's called, because I never really paid attention to it. I think it's just something my wife bought me. Have you ever watched the show House, TJ? If not, I highly recommend it. I was actually kind of addicted to House for a little while. I watched a bit of House, but it's kind of like every episode is the same fucking show. So it got kind of boring for me. When I watched, I got up to like maybe season 3 or 4, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm just watching the same fucking thing over and over and over again. I feel like I'm a fucking sucker here. It just follows the exact same narrative structure every damn time. And they don't really do much to tweak the formula or keep it fresh, so I just said, fuck this. Maybe it's just not the kind of show that I could watch, episode after episode after episode, and there's plenty of shows like that. I love getting into a show and just fucking watching gigantic blocks of it and letting it fill massive amounts of my time. But that one I never did like. Kirk or Picard? I gotta go with Picard. I've always been a Next Generation fan. I just think he's cooler. Find another question. Okay. Will you play TGE poorly translated Pokemon Green on your gaming channel? Por favor, plax, sir. It's hard to believe you like Frasier. I love Frasier. I think that is one of the best fucking shows ever made. Because it's just entirely about miscommunication and deception on not really on a sinister level like deception is usually portrayed, but just on the level that most people are deceptive in their daily lives. They're deceptive about what they truly value the most. They're deceptive about how they really feel. Everything about that show is here's the front that I'm putting up, and here's who I really am, and here's what I really like. And I think that's interesting, and it fucking creates tons of great comedic situations. And it's funny because when Frasier was on the air, and I was flipping through channels, and I'd see it, and I'd see a couple minutes, I'd be like, fucking bleh, fuck that garbage. But once I actually started watching it and seeing I guess it was kind of like when I started watching old episodes of Cheers, and then I started thinking well, Frasier was a spinoff of Cheers, and that was on for such a long time. I might as well check it out too. And I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And I'm on season 7 now, I believe, and I still maintain that it's a really good fucking show. Maybe it's not for everyone, but it's for me. 2 questions. What do you think of Alice Cooper? Essentially the Marilyn Manson of the 70s and 80s. I like Alice Cooper, and it's strangely enough, my favorite Alice Cooper material is some of the stuff he's done later on, which is weird because he's a Christian now, and I even like some of the fucking songs that have a Christian message, even though I'm obviously not a Christian, and I'm something of an anti-theist, although not as virulently as I once was. But, yeah, I appreciate Alice Cooper. I think he's an interesting guy, and There's I forget the name of the album. I think the name of the album of his that I really, really enjoy is Brutal Planet. And it's a more recent album. I mean, it's still, I think it's like maybe 10 or 15 years old now, but it's still more recent if you look at the overall length of his catalog. We're at 35 minutes now, and I feel like I'm running out of steam, but I'll tell you what, when this is gone, that's when the show ends. Can you do another wrong advices video? I enjoy doing the wrong advices, but, I've got to be... I think they're best when they're done far apart. And the real problem with it is that it's only really funny to me when people submit real questions and then I give them, bad advice. And every once in a while I'll throw some good advice in just to fuck with people. But then what happens is people start submitting obviously fake questions, and it just kind of diminishes the whole thing, because it's like, my mom and my girlfriend switched bodies, and now I'm trying to figure out which one to fuck. Yeah. You're boring. You're just dull. No one cares. Stop. Alright, whatever. When will you drop the puny SIG-alike e-cig and get a big battery tube mod with variable voltage and wattage paired with a rebuildable atomizer? I don't know. Thursday. That reminds me, I do have an e-cigarette. So I could start doing this too. I don't know. I don't like to fuck with anything. I'm not bad. Anything with me that's like mechanical and requires any sort of like technical skill is just a waste of fucking time, because my mind just doesn't click with that shit. I'm just like, just tell me how it works. I don't care. If it's like I gotta fucking figure shit out and do a big process, then I'm not even interested in fucking with that. I like this because I unwrap it and I put it in my mouth and I suck on it. And that's all I gotta do. Hey TJ, I'm pretty interested, don't ask me why, about how you feel about the breast expansion and body inflation fetishes. I think we all know why you're interested. I don't know. It's not my thing, but, whatever. I don't really care, If that's what you want to fap to, good. And, if you wanted to, like, come over to my house and do some role play or something sometime, even though it's not my thing, I'm open to it. So you come on by. How did you get that interview with Shirley Phelps Roper all those years ago? Shirley Phelps Roper, the spokesperson for the Westboro Baptist Church, the daughter of Fred Phelps, the founder of the Westboro Baptist Church. I basically just wrote them on their website. I told them I've got a YouTube channel. I've got X amount of subscribers. I'd love to speak with you and do an interview. And she agreed, and I called her at the allotted time, and she answered, and she was very pleasant to talk to. She did tell me that God was going to lift me up by the scruff of my neck and toss me down in hell, which kind of got me aroused for some reason. But, whatever. That probably says more about me than her. Are we out of questions? I think we're out. I think I've gone to the bottom of the list through my random searching. So let's see. We'll do another we'll just start up back at the top and go through it again with new random questions. How much money do you spend on pot a week? Well, I'm not buying it every week, but I don't know. It really just depends on what I can get, because different shit has different prices. And I guess I don't have to disclose financial information, but I mean, it's not that much. I don't spend a ton of money on it or nothing. What's your favorite book by Nietzsche and why? I enjoyed The Antichrist, and I enjoyed Oh God. Thus spake Zarathustra. I guess I enjoyed the Antichrist because it was really the first bit of, it was like really the first serious criticism of religion that I'd read. And I read it when I was probably like 13 or 14, and I think I understood about 10% of it. It's like one of those books, I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what he's talking about, I don't know what he's talking about, I don't know what he's talking about, but I guess I gleaned something from it because I did really enjoy it. I'd like to read it again now and see how much better I do. Probably now I'd understand like 30%. And I love Thus Spake Zarathustra because it kind of reminds me, I mean, like, I don't know, it's like, I think every person who has any sort of intelligence whatsoever feels like Zarathustra sometimes. Like, he's like, I'm coming down from the hill to preach, and ain't no one fucking give a shit what I'm preaching about, so I'm just like, this sucks. I feel like I've truly figured stuff out, but no one cares. They're all just involved in their own little pointless lives. So I guess I should just go back to the mountain. There was an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that featured Kelsey Grammer as the captain of a ship that was caught in a temporal causality loop for 80 years. I don't remember that. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that, but that's cool. I remember there was an episode of, like, in Star Trek Voyager with, J. Alexander. J. Alexander? Is that his name? That's not his name. The fuck is that dude's name? The fat fuck from Seinfeld. Jason Alexander, that's his name. Yeah, he was in that. He was in an episode of fucking, Voyager. Not a particularly great episode, but not a terrible one either. Did you see the new Star Trek, and what do you think of it? I already answered that in a bunch of places. I liked it, in case you didn't see where I said stuff. TJ, how old were you when you started smoking cigarettes? I've actually never really smoked cigarettes before. When I was addicted to smoking, it was Black and Milds that I was smoking. So those are not really cigarettes per se. They're, I guess, a kind of cigar. But I was inhaling them, and I was smoking like 2 or 3 a day. And but that didn't start till very recently. That wasn't even a year ago. So don't talk to me about smoking. It just makes me want to smoke. What's a fetish that has shocked you? The electrocution fetish is quite shocking. Fuck. Do you like any rappers besides Immortal Technique? I like Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and I enjoy early Eminem. You know, pretty much like the first 3 Eminem albums, not counting Infinity or Infinite or whatever the fuck it was called. I mean, I don't know. I've liked certain rap songs. I don't really know too many rap artists or whatever. Dude, if I only knew you, we would be friends. That's Stephanie St. Lawrence saying that, and she looks cute. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture of this girl. Let's see. I don't know. She looks like she might be underage. I rescind the cuteness comment. She looked cute in the smaller one, but then I enlarged it, and I'm like, that girl looks like she could be 16. She also does look like she could be 18, though, so who knows? Go fuck yourself, TJ. Why are you so fucking mean? What did I ever do to you, you fucking asshole? You piece of shit. I'm a nice guy. I do things that are nice. What program do you use making videos on your main channel? Well, let's see. I use Premiere Pro to edit. And if I have to record Sound by itself, I use Audition. That's about it. It's all the software end of things. Let's see. Would you ever consider lifting weights, TJ? You're already a big guy. You could be the strongest bear mode lifter ever if you really wanted to. Here's the problem with that. I detest physical exertion. So, that kind of fucking... that's not going to work for me. What is the most valuable piece of wisdom someone has ever told you? I think the most valuable, like the thing that really sticks in my mind as a piece of wisdom that I was given, two things probably. The two pieces of wisdom that I think are with me to this day and that I've seen through my own personal observation hold up under scrutiny is, and they're kind of connected too. My father basically telling me about the rats in the cage with the snake, or the mice in the cage with the snake. I don't remember if it was, I think it was mice. And he said basically, the mice, they fucking frolic and play with each other and have a good time, and then the snake eats one, and then they all run into the corner and they shake and they're scared. But then after a while, they're fucking running around playing again. And, they know the snake might fucking eat one of them, but whatever. And the reason that I like that bit of advice is because, he was basically talking about people in society and how, everyone will accept an injustice as long as it's not happening to them. And I guess the second piece of advice that I like is something that Marilyn Manson was saying a lot back in around the Hollywood era, which is that you can't change the world, you can only change yourself. And I think those two things are kind of related, because it's like it's like both kind of have this message of like, you're not going to find what you're looking for out there in society. You have to find it within. And that's a message that I definitely have taken to heart. And here's another piece of valuable advice that my dad gave me. It's in the form of a story that maybe some of you have heard before. This is a cute little story. There's a bird that's flying south for the winter, but he started his journey a little bit too late. And as he was flapping his wings, they froze, and he fucking crashed into the ground. And he just as he thought he was going to freeze to death, a cow comes over and shits on him. And he's sitting there in the warm shit, and he's just happy to be alive. But then a cat comes along and digs him out of the shit and eats him. And the moral of the story is that not everyone who shits on you is your enemy, and not everyone who gets you out of shit is your friend. And I think that's also valuable advice. What's the name of the bigger dog again? I didn't catch that. The name of the bigger dog is Yujiro. He's named after Yujiro Hanma from an anime manga called Baki the Grappler. And when I said anime manga, there was a forward slash between those two. Why is humanity so stupid? I had my friend Galen explain to me one time why humanity is so stupid, but I was totally fucking high while he explained it, and I did not really retain any of it. But if you want to know, you can ask him, because I'm pretty sure what he said made sense. Let's see. If you were a whale, who would you sacrifice to keep your family safe from the great and powerful Neptune? I'm not answering something so stupid as that. Where do you see the mainstream music industry going over the next century? I don't know. Right now it's in the toilet. I mean, I don't know if it could go any lower than it already is. Do you think that multiculturalism has failed? Yes. I think that multiculturalism has failed. I think the melting pot is probably a better idea. But I think that actually the best idea of all is a hybrid of the two, wherein, people retain something of their cultural identity, but overall they basically homogenize into, the American way of life, or the, British way of life, or whatever country you're talking about. Alright. I'm starting to definitely run out of steam here, so we'll do one more. I don't know which one. I don't know what's going to be. We're just going to scroll through. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to put it uncommon at random. That one sucks. We'll do another one. Yeah. It was just someone asking about, some bullshit about them. Josephine Burkov. Have you ever been accused of intentionally leaking Bananagate and Oilgate to gain more attention? Is there any truth to this? If no, would you lie about there not being any truth to it? There's no truth to that. And it's pointless to ask me if I'd lie, because obviously if I lied once, I'd lie a fucking again. But, I have heard the theory that I did it for various reasons. The two main reasons that are tossed around are that I released the videos because it gives me sexual satisfaction to have people watch them. The other theory is that I just did it to drum up attention for my YouTube channel. The first theory has more merit, I will admit, because there is a part of me that definitely is aroused by the fact that people have seen me being a little naughty. But I'd never intentionally do that because, whatever thrill I get is outweighed by the sheer annoyingness of an event like that. I'm not really ashamed of it. I don't care about what I've done because I don't think there's anything wrong with what I've done, and therefore I'm not going to be ashamed. I've never really been the kind of person who has an immense capacity for things like shame anyway. The other one, the theory that I did it to get more attention for myself, trust me, I have 400,000 subscribers. Anything I upload to YouTube on my Amazing Atheist channel is probably going to get at least 80,000 fucking views. Even the stuff that's not me, the Howard Bloom stuff that I upload is averaging like 50 or 60,000 views. So I'm not very concerned with that. I think that, I have plenty of attention. I hope I have more, but I'm not really going to fucking put out a sex tape or something like that. And if I was going to put out a sex tape to increase my views, I would choose something better for the public at large than just, some oil or some bananas. I mean, I'd do something really fucking crazy if I really wanted to just get attention. But, it's just the case that, I share these videos with people that I flirt with, and, I have, online doms and dominatrixes, or I did at the time. I don't do it anymore because, I just, it doesn't really thrill me anymore to do that kind of stuff online. It would really only thrill me in person at this point. But at the time, it was exciting, and, basically, I guess I trusted a few of the wrong people, and, the videos wound up getting out there to the public at large, and while I don't like the fact that they're out there to the public at large, I'm not really upset either. I'm just kind of like, I wish it hadn't happened, but it did, and I have no control, so whatever. But no, I never would have done something like that intentionally. And I feel like I have to live up to that promise of finishing this before I can do this. So let's just do it. Are you okay, that person can't type. Fuck them. I'm one of the few who did see the removed YouTube vid. I had no problems with the audio. Oh well. Are you related to Michael Moore? Oh, because we're both yeah, fuck you. You fat lazy fuck, I hate you. Well, okay. It's not really a question. It's not really a question, brah. Brah. We'll do... Let's finish this off. I feel like I'll just talk. I'll just say my own shit now. Fuck these questions. I'm done with them. I've answered plenty. So now it's just me and the fucking blankness of my mind, because I have nothing interesting to say now. I'm totally worn down. It's 11:13 and I'm starting to feel this. I'm just starting to feel calm. And calm is the wrong mental state for making a YouTube video. At least for me. I need energy. I need to have the bounce factor, you know? So, here's an idea. If you guys would like to ask me more questions, go ask them on my Tumblr. And maybe late at night, as I'm laying in bed with my smartphone, I'll answer a few more questions. You should ask me dirty questions, though, you know, smutty questions. Let's get fucking real freaky and naughty with it, you know? If you don't want to ask me a smutty question, I guess you can ask me a legitimate one, but I'm not as interested in that, you know? I'd rather answer dirty fucking sex questions, because answering that stuff about Oilgate and Bananagate has kind of got my blood up, if you know what I'm saying. Star Wars! This is a cool glass, right? I got this for, I got a set of these, 4 of these for like nothing. Like some fucking piddling ass price. They're really nice. They're really nice glasses. I've seen other people with them, so I know it's not like a rare set or anything, but they're fun. Mix a little Coke in there. That was a weak-ass burp. Usually my burps are louder than... God damn it. I can do better than that. Hold on. I'm usually way better at burping. I don't know why the burps are shitty tonight. They're usually much louder. See, it's at 58 minutes now, so now I want it to be an hour. I want it to get all the way to an hour, so it's like a little movie. A little movie of me just sitting here answering questions. But I don't know how to fill these last couple of minutes. So I'm just kind of talking and having verbal diarrhea. But it's okay, because you're probably already gone at this point. Most people are probably like, this is boring. I'm leaving. That's fine. I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty of that. You know? Someone just wrote me and said, TJ, you slut, why are you never available for chatting? And I said, I am. I am available. But I'm really not, because I'm about to leave. So that was kind of a dick thing to say. Get their hopes up. Sign out. Oh well, fuck it. I guess we're just going to be a little shy of the hour, because I can't figure out a way to fill this last 50 seconds. So, bye! Hope you enjoyed it.